Back in 2018, we began playing through the epic Mercy of the Icons campaign for Coriolis, and had the opportunity to play A Song for Jeruma, Last Voyage of the Ghazali, as well as Emissary Lost, the latter of these two being part of our Patreon exclusive bonus campaigns. We have now decided to finish the work that was begun all those years ago, and we'll begin releasing the first episodes of the next part of Mercy of the Icons, the Last Cyclade, later this summer. Thanks to the support and approval of our beloved patrons, we will also be making the previously Patreon exclusive episodes available here in our main feed, so that you can enjoy all of Mercy of the Icons in one place. Some of these episodes were released in the main feed back in 2018 as teaser episodes for our Patreon, and to avoid anyone joining us now having to dig through our back catalogue, we will be re-releasing the full story, starting with Last Voyage of the Ghazali. 2 of the old shorter episodes will be merged into one, slightly longer, and will be released on a weekly cadence until the Last Cyclade begins in July. If you can't wait, know that you can head over to our Patreon already today and binge all of Last Voyage of the Ghazali and Emissary Lost by backing us on the $3 level. With all that said, may the Icons protect you on your journey, and welcome aboard the Ghazali. Good luck, you're going to need it.
As the planets of the systems turn, we reach the gambler segment of the 61st cycle of the mighty space station Coriolis. This enormous space station stands as a monument of Zenithian will, power, and influx of trade, communication, and prosperity of the many star systems of the third horizon. Despite what many of their religious firstcom may think of the pragmatic Zenithians, they do owe them the fact that trade is once again prospering all over the horizon. The crew of the courier ship, the Red Moon, flying under the Angolian Barey Wali Makmal, is doing devious work for an employer they know little to nothing about. But they all have their own motives for not questioning the Barey and his nefarious purposes. With their combined set of skills, their discreet operations have been faring well and smooth through the Agol route. But with the recent arrival of the emissary and the factions of the system starting to vie for power, the third horizon is now in an opportunity flux. When a distress signal appears from the remote Tawan system, the Barey decides to put his courier crew to the test. But the Jungevall in the Coriolis cantinas whispered of other, more sinister goals for the Barey, and things do not end up quite as intended. You wake up, heads heavy, limbs sore. You've been in stasis. You don't know for how long. You don't know. You don't know. You're lying almost naked. It's a bit cold. You're getting the chills. The light. It's red. It's the emergency light. Your stasis pod clicks. And you're free to move.
Do I
remember anything at all.
You don't remember a thing. It's cold. The red light. It's so bright. The ship, it crumbles. It's so quiet. You remember being on your ship, but it's a bit fuzzy. You cannot really get the grip. You cannot place memories in right order. You don't really know. What are you doing here? Why you are here? You see stacks of stasis pods. This is not your ship. It's about 20 other stasis pods in this large room, drenched in red light. You can hear something atop of a stair. You don't know what it is, but it's a familiar sound. It's like a mechanical door slams.
Am I alone? Is anyone else nearby?
Your 3 stasis pods, all of your crew, is in the same space, the left side of the room.
Carlo, is that you?
Yeah,
What is this?
I don't know, Captain. I don't know. I kind of stumble a little and sort of try and lean against the pod. I then look up to where the sound's coming from.
You see a spiral staircase moving towards the ceiling and continues through another room and another room again. All is drenched in this red emergency light. And upwards you hear this metallic clicking of a door.
I turn around and quickly scan the room looking for Pig.
You see Pig.
I open it. I come out with my sincerely looking like I'm a bit in pain. I'm stretching my forearms and I'm getting out on the floor in front of me. What's going on?
The room trembles one more time. You think that the gravity emulator is out of balance.
I grab the side of the wall just to stable myself. Where are we?
I have no idea, Pig.
Well, we're not at home at least. And where are our gear?
Yes, I immediately start patting myself down to see what I have on me. I mean, am I even clothed enough?
Yeah, you have your undergarments. And you see at the end of every stasis pod there's a box.
I start making my way over to it. I'm patting my skin with 2 of my arms. Clearly very uncomfortable with being this naked.
You find it's really hard to move. Your body's in pain. You have a headache, loss of vision, hard to breathe.
I try and steel myself as best I can and also make my way over to one of the crates.
kind of try not to look at Pig. I don't really want to see them this way. Those extra arms always kind of rub me the wrong way, but never mind, let's focus. I kind of take a moment to try and just rub my face, feeling everything's there. My beard's still trimmed, and I just... I go and try and get to my things.
I snigger at you as I see you looking at me like you most normally do, and I say, "You alright there, Zenithian?"
I've been better, Pig. I've been better. Now let's get our stuff and, Captain, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking wherever we are, things ain't how they're supposed to be.
That's definitely sure. We need to find some kind of computer or terminal or something to check if we can get any information of where we are or what's happening. And if someone could check the other pods as well to see if there's anyone else waking up.
I'm looking around at the other pods. Is there anyone in there?
Yeah, about half of the pods have humans in them. At this distance, they look like they're still in stasis.
Who cares? I start making my way over to the box again. Rubbing my head as well. I want to see what's inside.
The box opens. It was an auto lock. It unlocks when the stasis pods unlock. And you find your clothes and some of your tools, your more personal tools, but not your weapons, not your more dangerous equipment like Dura knives or Dura drills.
So is this one box for every stasis, basically, of a cell?
Yeah.
Now I start getting dressed, clearly still uncomfortable with people seeing much of me.
I, on the other hand, is not bothered at all with my nakedness, so I'm kind of leisurely walking over to my gearbox and start unfolding my clothes to put it on.
I'm averting my gaze, clearly averting my gaze from you when you walk by.
So, does any one of you remember anything, like, why are we here?
Last thing I remember, we was on our ship.
Yeah, I feel like I got jumped. At least that's how I feel.
Slavers?
Yeah, could be.
Doesn't seem...
Pig, you can do a roll for Medicogy.
Yeah.
It's a quite easy roll, so you can get a +1.
I get 1/6.
Yeah. You realizing that you have been awakened too soon from your stasis, and this is one of the side effects, that you are having memory loss, that your body isn't really doing so well.
I think we might all have a bit of jump sickness, probably. We might have done a jump and waken up prematurely, but I can't see why just the three of us have waken up.
Do you have any estimate on how long it would take for us to get some kind of idea what we're doing here? I mean, are we talking hours, minutes, or days?
To get our memory back.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, it depends. It could take hours, it could take days.
I'm not sure. It kind of depends on how much prematurely we were awoken and what we've just been through, what this ship has just been through. I say we gotta get out of here, and I have a weird feeling that someone wanted the three of us to wake up.
I find myself agreeing with Pig, and I quickly move to dress myself, dressing quite quickly, although you notice I take a moment to check the quality of my clothing. I frown a little. It's probably been badly folded. Never mind, can't think of that now. Get my stuff, whatever I can, and I immediately start very carefully making my way up the staircase towards where I think I hear that door, just remarking to the others, "Just give me a minute, Captain, give me a minute."
The one with the highest wits can roll a normal roll.
Oh,
My wits is 4.
got 4 as well.
5. Okay. I get no 6. I get 2 1s.
No. You're feeling something is it's really out of place here. But you don't really know where you can place all these feelings that are just going through your body and your head right now.
I take a few steps after Carlo when he starts towards the stairs, and I put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Carlo, maybe we should stick together? I don't know."
I wasn't exactly going to go and leave you, Captain. I was just going to take a quick look upstairs, or, well, that sounds to me like a door, possibly broken by the constant annoying sound. I don't know. What would you say, Pig? You know about ships?
I come up behind Farouk. Yeah, that's a broken door, right? Why don't you take the lead?
Yeah, I want to know who or what broke it.
And I sort of motion towards Carlo to start moving up.
I nod and I take a few more steps forward. I'm not exactly leaving them behind. I'm just trying to sort of be a bit more stealthy, as to be the first to sort of observe where we're going.
Yeah? When you're starting to climb the steps, you're noticing that the life support system on the other Stasis Pod that are manned, you see that they are dead.
How do we see that?
They have a flat line.
Huh. Did they just do that now, or did they do that before?
They did it before, but there's no sound of the life support system.
Huh. They're all dead.
Well, that's unfortunate for them.
I say a silent prayer for their souls and pray that the icons will guide their souls in the darkness.
I see this and I join her.
I click my teeth. Wait. I really don't think this is a good time to be doing this, but I don't say anything.
And when I'm done, I'm kind of nod towards Carlo to continue up the stairs.
Do you continue, Carlo?
I do.
Yes, you're starting to climb the stairs and getting up to the next floor. It's quite similar in the looks. Red light, wore down equipment, diamond plate floors, stasis pods stacked on each other. Half, maybe a third of them are manned, but all are dead. They have a flat line. You climb to the next floor, and then you see what's making the noise, and as you imagine, it's a mechanical door that's bent open with an iron bar, maybe a steel pipe, and a flashlight is lying on the floor outside in the corridor. It cuts through the red emergency light.
When I pass by those men, Could we see anything like a uniform or symbol or something that could identify who these people are?
If you take a closer look, you can see that through the Stasis Pod glass they are lying, and the one thing that you're noticing that a lot of them have marks on their skin, small wounds, maybe burn marks, but the pod itself seems quite untouched.
I mutter under my breath to Farouk. I find myself liking this situation less and less by the moment, Captain.
What are you saying up there?
You and me both, Carlo. You and me both. Just keep on your toes, okay?
Hey, Carlo. You know you're a faithless, icon-forsaken Zenithian piece of...
Speak! Shh! Come on, man. The dead could hear you. Literally.
You see that one of the stasis pods are opened on the third floor, the last floor, as well as the crate. It's empty. One have survived, and one have bent open the door and left.
I push my way forward to get up to see what Carlo has already seen.
You see the mechanical door slapping. Someone has bent it open with a iron or maybe a steel pipe.
Huh. Looks like someone woke up before us. I try to look at the support system, like, is there any reason that they all shut down?
You can roll medically.
Huh.
And it's a normal roll, so you get no pluses and no minuses.
Okay. Two sixes.
When you look through the display at one of the stasis pod, you can see that they are flatlined because of radiation sickness. And if you look into the stasis pod through the glass, you can see that they have burn marks on them, not made by fire, made by radiation.
I see this and I turn off the monitor again and I go up to the others and I say this. Looks like radiation. I don't know why it's local, but there you are.
I thought the pods were shielded.
Well, obviously our pods were, or maybe we irradiated, but we don't feel it yet.
Oh my.
Does that mean this is... What does that mean? Pig?
That means we gotta get out of here, and we gotta find whoever's been crashing through those gates before us and find our way back to our ship. That's what it means.
Yeah, then let's get to it, I think.
I nod and make my way to that open door, stopping just to make sure I don't run into it while it's closing on me or something. What's the situation now we're this close?
You can easily pass the slamming door. It slams just against the steel pipe. When you're passing through it, you enter a corridor that continues to your left and to your right.
As we get by the door, I try to wrench loose the steel pipe to have it in my hand.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can roll a strength roll. It's quite easy, so you get a +1.
Oops. Nah, no sixes.
When you're trying to release the steel pipe, you break it and the door slams shut behind you. And you only got a small piece of steel pipe, about 10 centimeters.
I shudder a bit at the ominous sound of the shutting door.
Yeah, and it echoes through the corridor.
I look at the others and I shrug.
Well, it's more than we got, so hang on to it.
Yeah, I hold on to it for now.
Well, Captain, what do you suggest? Shall we go on?
Well, there's not many options, are there? Let's press on. Yeah. This is making me really uneasy.
And there's a flashlight lying on the corridor floor. Are you taking it with you?
The flashlight, yeah. I think that would be a good idea. Kind of bend down and fish it up while I pass it.
Yeah. You realize when you're picking it up, it got blood on it.
Okay. Well, I'm not too fussed about it, because, well, I'm kind of used to bodily fluids, all over the place.
Yeah.
In weird situations, so I kind of try not to touch the blood too much, at least.
I squint in the poor lighting and I move up. What's that?
Well, I was hoping it would be strawberry jam, but I think it's blood.
Huh. I look down on the floor. Is there a trail of it?
You see a footprint. More half of a footprint with blood on it, and maybe a couple of yards, a couple of meters down on your right. It continues, but then it vanished.
Seems like, well, there wasn't a struggle. Maybe they got stuck in the door somehow.
Well, actually, going back to the Stasis Pod is pretty tempting right now.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the door, you realize that Pig, unjamming the steel pipe, the emergency lock activated when the door slammed shut. So you will need either to access the terminal for the door or use some kind of advanced tool like a Dura drill or a plasma cutter to get through.
I don't think there's anything we need back there, Captain.
No.
I feel it'd be better to move on.
If the blood is an indication of trouble, I think we better find some weaponry.
That would be ideal as well, I'll admit. And I idly reach for my waist and am annoyed to find that, well, my little friend who's normally there is not there. And that gets me a little tense, but we'll have to make do. We'll have to improvise, I guess. And I just start moving on at this point, quite silently. I'm not in a good mood.
I'm just sticking to the rear of the company.
Yeah. Carlo, you can roll for pilot.
Sure. 1-6.
Yeah. You do recall, if you're on a mission with a bulk freighter, the weaponry by protocol is locked up in the command bridge.
I quietly remark behind me, the way I see it, Farouk, ship this big, the weaponry will probably be near the command bridge. Could be somewhere to aim for. After all, we might be then able to access a console, find out where the ship's going, maybe even start controlling it, or at least find out if it has a docking bay and some escape ships or little ships aboard. Not sure.
Or preferably our own ship, maybe. If we just can find our way there, of course.
I nod and just continue moving forwards.
Do you go left or right?
I stop at this turning, Do they look any different from each other, or is it literally just a left turn and a right turn in this now tunnel I'm imagining we're in?
They're just large corridors with every 10 or maybe every 15 meters there's a door, just like the one you have just get out of. But the footsteps are going for the right direction, and at your left you see the same thing but no footsteps.
I pause. I turn to Farouk. Well, Captain, do we follow our friend or not?
Good question. Well, if our friend is from the pod, he or she or it is probably in the same state as us, so hopefully not armed. So maybe we should check who it is.
Yeah, let's follow the tracks.
I nod and start moving towards the right. I pick up my pace a little, because I'd like to get a little further ahead, just to be ready if something's coming. I do, of course, try and do this as subtly as I can.
Yeah.
It is something I'm used to, after all.
I try to just scan the general surroundings where we are. Try to take in, are we on a ship? Are we on a space station? What can this place be?
Because you have been in Stasis Pod, you are sure that you're on a ship. Because you don't go in stasis at space stations because they don't move through systems. But you don't really know what kind of ship. You think it's a big one. And when you're moving through the corridor, you see that it's quite worn down, so you think it's quite old. You should say the aesthetics is about 20 or 30 years. You start to walk down the dark corridor, and occasionally you see bloodstains, marks of blood.
Coming from probably one person, or?
Probably just one person. It's not much, but as you move forward, you realize that the one who is bleeding quite heavily.
Looks like we got away lucky.
Oh, did we? We'll see that in a minute, I think, or two.
This is a pretty old ship. I'm not sure which class, but it looks pretty big.
Do anyone has survival?
Yeah.
Pig?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll.
Nah, I got nothing.
You feel a very, very distinct smell. You cannot place it, but it's very, very familiar to you. It reminds you of your early years as a child. It's not a good smell, it's quite gross.
Huh.
It awakens some memories in your head. You cannot place it, maybe because you have stasis sickness. But it's you can all smell it, and it's very, how do you say, intense. Very, very intense.
I stop and I sniff, and I'm obviously perturbed a bit by this smell.
I pause at this point, smelling this smell, and remark,
Yeah.
ugh. What?
You can definitely say it's a very organic smell.
In the name of the icons is that?
I cover my nose, and I don't know, but can I get a sense of where it's coming from? Is it just getting stronger along the corridor?
Yeah, it's you think that it's 5 or 4 meters. It's the source of the smell, and it's in the middle in your way through the corridor.
I'm quite short, so I'm looking by on the side, past Farouk, trying to locate it, and I point to her flashlight while I'm holding my nose.
I kind of try to light the way a bit more, just so that we know what we're coming up against or towards. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see when you're passing over the corridor with the flashlight, you can see the left wall is quite humid, and you think that the smell is coming from there.
Has any one of you seen anything like this before?
There's something familiar about it. I move up to the wall carefully.
It's really intense. It's quite awful smell. You almost throw up when you're getting more close, and memories flashing by of your childhood in the jungle. This is a very awkward smell to feel on a spaceship. You haven't smelled it in a long time.
I gag. I try to focus, but my head hurts. I move up and is it like... I try to look at the wall. Is it just like moist and humid, or...
Half of the wall is covered in this... looks like it's in a form of spray. Someone has sprayed some liquid on the wall, and it don't have any color. It's a transparent.
This could be something organic. I'm not sure. It's like an animal has been here.
If you roll a medicurgy, roll.
Yeah, I got 1-6.
Yeah, you are quite sure it's urine, but it's not human urine. It's an animal urine.
Yeah, it's an animal for sure.
Animal?
Yeah.
What do you mean, animal?
This here, and I look towards Farouk and I point at the wall. This is definitely animal. And I stop as if I'm listening to something. And then I nod. And yeah, it's definitely animal.
What, animal blood or...
No. Something has gone. It's gone pissing all over the wall.
Oh my.
And I still hold my nose.
Why would it do that?
I don't know, some animals do it for defense mechanism. Maybe someone got angry at the fella limping about, dropping blood. How should I know? Or whatever, it's not something you'd find in space. This is... I recognize the smell, but I can't place where it's from.
Wonderful. Well, I suppose the question is, do we keep heading down this way or turn back? This could be some sort of beast. I'm not exactly feeling up to brawling with my hands.
Well, there's no sign of a struggle, is there? I look down on the floor and around.
When you look down, it's the floor is quite classical diamond plate. Do you know diamond plates? It's
like tiny studs or nubs on it, yeah, so that you get a grip with your shoes and stuff.
Yeah. When you're looking more closely at the diamond plate, you can see that it got some marks on it, and it's not marks from shoes, and it's not regular wore down. It looks like it's some kind of claw marks, maybe.
I kneel down and I look at that. Does it look like there's been some sort of struggle? Is there more blood or anything else?
No, there's no more blood. But you roll a survival. One more. You can get -1.
Okay. I don't get anything. I try to really focus here and figure out what it is. I pray to the icons.
Yeah?
To try and figure out. I got 2 6s.
Great. You can tell 2 things. That it's claw marks, for sure. It's quite claws with... it's about maybe 20 centimeters long. Very sharp. And then it hits you like a diamond bullet in the forehead. It's a Necatra. A jungle beast that hunts in packs. An animal that you're really afraid of.
I get up from the floor. If I had any hairs on my body, they would be raising right now. And I back up against the wall, and then I hit the place with the urine. I turn around, and you see a sort of panic growing in my eyes.
Pig? Pig?
We gotta get out of here. We can't stay in this corridor.
What's wrong? What? I start looking around like I'm thinking I might see something all of a sudden.
These tracks here, it's from a Necatra. It's a pack hunter. We don't want to stay here if that's what we're up against. With no weapons, we'd be easy prey.
Have I ever heard of something like this?
Yeah, the Necatra is very common in fights at Coriolis. It's a very fearsome beast. Yes. If you mix in a hyena with a leopard, you get a Necatra.
Necatra. Wonderful. Yes, Captain, maybe we should be moving swiftly. I wouldn't normally be that worried, but in this case, Pig is right. Let's go.
Yeah, there was a young man who kept a Necatra as a pet back in Dabaran, and, well, it didn't end nicely.
I can imagine anyone mad enough to want to keep these things as pets.
Yeah. So, the things people with money do, they think they're above it all.
Was he Sinithian?
No, actually. It's one of the nobles.
At this I remark, plenty of your sort have money as well, Pig.
I know, but we usually have the brains to go along with it.
Ha! And I start moving on quickly.
You continue this path, or do you go back?
I think we desperately need to find some kind of weapons.
Yeah. Let's maybe take the other way for now. I'm gonna keep an eye out for more claw markings on the other side.
I nod at this and quickly backtrack, passing both of Pig and Farouk and sort of trying to make progress back now to the left corridor.
I'm obviously looking conflicted on wanting to take the rear of the company now. Gaze flickering back and forth.
Yeah, I'm pretty quick to follow Carlo as he passes me.
I run after, and I keep sending glances back towards where we just were.
Yeah, you're quickening your steps. And you pass through your old door, and the diamond plate floor is starting to get in a different angle. You feel that you're walking upwards in a ship. You're not sure, but it feels like it. And who's going first? Is it Pig?
No, Carlo.
It's me.
Carlo. Carlo, you see in maybe 25 meters, you see a terminal that flickers with green light.
Now, that, I think to myself, is a little more like it, and I quickly move up to the terminal and start trying to see what I can get out of it.
Yeah, you see, when you move up to it, it's got a green screen, and you have to make some adjustments to make it work, I think. It's got a dashboard, but it's damaged. It looks like it's been hit by something quite heavy. You see bits of it lying on the diamond plate floor.
Hey, pig, quick, get over here.
I come over and
I might be able to use this, but I can't use it like this. What can you do?
I look down at the thing that's smashed and the bits on the floor. I try to get an idea of what has hit this. Was it just someone's fist, or could it have been something falling down from above, or...
By the look of it, you don't see that something has fallen down from the roof. Maybe someone have hit it, maybe with a tool of some sort, because it's really smashed. But you got a level 3 communicator, right?
Yeah.
So you can use that to jack up to the terminal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Can you roll a data gen?
I don't have data gen. But I can jack it up, I suppose, and let Carla have a try.
But you have technology?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll for that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I get 1-6.
Okay, you access the terminal for your communicator, and you see that the ship system is starting to reboot.
Yeah.
And that's it can take some time until it's fully operational.
It looks like all systems are not critically damaged. The main systems are starting to reboot now, but we're not gonna be able to access anything for a while. It's gonna take a bit. Can I get any information about what kind of ship this is, or how big the ship is?
Yeah, then you have to roll a data gen.
I look at Carlo. Can you find anything else out from this? I don't talk well with computers.
I sort of lean over and take the system and nod. Yes, let's see what we can get. And I will try and access anything I can to find out anything I can.
Yeah, make a roll. It's quite hard, so you get a -2.
And I, for a moment while I'm looking over the system, reach into my pocket. Do I find my security tablet there?
Yeah.
Does that make it take away the minus?
It could take away 1 minus.
Nice. I breathe a sigh of relief that at least some of my stuff is still on me, and I quickly hook up my little security tablet to the comm device. This should make this a little easier.
I step back and in my pocket I take out a bottle of skin moisturizer and I start rubbing my hands nervously.
And I keep a very nervous watch of the surroundings. Almost a bit jitterish.
I roll no 6s, and I kind of swear to myself, and internally, even though I am not one to do this often, I do kind of just mentally go, Icons, if you were ever there, come on, give a guy a break.
Okay. You're feeling, when you're standing there, praying silently to the icons, that the corridor jolts. It quiver.
I re-roll,
You pay no mind.
and I get 3 6s.
You're starting to get into the system. You're getting through the firewalls and getting into the back end. You see a lot of data is fueling back to the reboot sequence. You get out some info that this is it's a big ship. You see a name. You see Ghazali's roll through the data log.
Ghazali, I say aloud.
You cannot really recall. And everybody can roll an observation.
Nothing.
I've got nothing.
But it's because you're into the system. You're looking through the data scan.
I get 2.
Pig, you're feeling that something is really wrong. You hear something quite small, like something is ripping up steel. And Carlo, you see that emergency data starts to flicker through the data feed.
Is there any way I'm thinking we probably don't have time to analyze it all, but it could be nice to just sort of... Can I copy a little of it onto my tablet?
Yeah, you're starting to copy it. Pig, you feel you hear the noises. It's expanding, and you can roll. Do you have science?
No, I don't. I back up against the wall, listening.
Then the hull starts to shake, and then you see the hull cracks, and you feel that the air is pouring out, and the cracks widens fast, and you are being dragged towards outer space.
Security code 4651 Omega.
This is the genie of the courier ship, the Red Moon. Camilla segment, Coriolis Cyclade 61.
Recording.
To the beloved Captain Farouk, may the mercy of the icons ever be in your favor. The Red Moon, docked on the line cruiser Ghazali, is in transit through the Hamura system, on course for the Tawan system. For security reasons, all crew members of the Red Moon were put to hypersleep on the flagship.
Optimistically,
This recording will serve as restatement for your stasis amnesia.
I used all the baseline words that you gave me.
Hope your memory training is up to speed, Captain. This is the genie of the courier ship, the Red Moon, signing off. Security code 4613 Omega.
Captain's log. Pulsing red lights, beating of my own heart, irregular hum of engines. Never before had I experienced stasis sickness as the one I had. My entire body ached. A strange coppery taste. Shadows moving about in the dark room. Pig sat on the pod, looking just as unfocused and disoriented as Carlo, assessing our situation, moving about the silent rows of stasis pods filled with dead people. Unsettling, dark, abandoned corridors. Something terribly amiss. The foul smell of something organic. Nekatra, foul, vicious beast. Finally made contact with the ship's computer. A ship called the Ghazali. Hull ripped apart by a terrible, wrenching sound. Struggling for air, safety, something to grip onto. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
The hull cracks, and you feel that the air is pouring out and the cracks widens fast, and you are being dragged towards outer space.
I immediately tense, look to the nearest exit, and then what do I see? I kind of buckle down to the panel if I can with my hands.
You see that emergency doors in front of you, it starts to go down, and sirens starting to make some noise, as well as orange lights when the security door is closing at the other end. And 10 meters in back of you, the other security door is starting to lower, and you're feeling that you are being dragged. The decompression that starts to drag all the loose things in the ship towards outer space.
Would there be enough time for us to try to bolt for the door?
Yeah, you have to make a dexterity roll.
I just shout out the door and I start trying to run for it.
Yeah. I start running as well.
I blink and roll to run as well.
Oh.
2 6s.
I got 1 6.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and you're running towards the door, and it's starting to lower. But you are quite lucky, and you're just passing through the door when it slams, and then you hear the whole session is spread open.
I look at them wide-eyed. Something is tearing the ship apart. There's something out there.
But what do you...
Pig, calm down. There's nothing out there. Clearly the ship's been damaged, and the hull is starting to, I don't know, come apart like these big ships do.
No, you don't understand. Something is.
What do you mean, something?
I don't know. I hear something. It's something moving in the ship.
Why are we here? What is this?
We gotta hurry. Come on.
Okay.
I look begging at Carlo to move down the corridor.
I frown and start moving down the corridor. I take a moment to catch my breath. Why the hell am I here? And most importantly, who put me here? I'm thinking in my mind, I swear, this is someone back on Kua. And I look at my security tablet now, kind of seeing if I can, now it's on my tablet, look at some of that data I managed to get from the terminal.
Yeah, you did download some of the data, but you had to abort, so it's quite damaged. But you can, if you have a sit down and go through it, you maybe can extract something of it. But the question is, do you want to stay here to do that?
No, I frown a little, giving the security tablet a little tap against the wall. Need to upgrade. I just put it back in my coat, pull it round me, and I, again, stalk forwards.
Yeah, you feel a quake again. It feels like Pig said, that's something that tearing the ship apart. But Carlo, you are a man of science, and you know that maybe it's just some ionic storm or something outside.
At this point, am I getting any better idea of where we even are on the ship?
Yeah, you're probably quite close to the docking bay, or at the Stasis Pod room. That should be, if it's a big ship, it should be on the lower side of the ship.
I remark to Farouk, Captain, I'm not entirely sure we're going to be able to find the command floor anytime soon, but we might actually be near the docking bays, I think. It could be worth checking.
I kind of jerk at when you start speaking to me, because I seem to have been lost in prayer or something, trying to ward off the darkness from outside, and I'm like, you mean a ship, yeah?
Yes, Captain, a ship.
Oh, of course, yeah, I think that's probably the safest thing right now. If nothing else, we need to find some kind of exosuits or something. If it's something tearing at the ship. Are you sure about that, Pig?
Don't you hear it now?
I'm not sure what I hear. But icons have mercy. Let's move.
Yeah, and your pace is quickening, and you're moving back. You backtrack, and you're going past the urine stains, and you follow the corridor. A couple of minutes later, you're feeling that you're going upwards in the ship, and you're feeling quite relieved for a moment. Then you enter a 4 crossing, paths on 4 different ways, and here there is a slaughter. You see limbs, human limbs. You see carcasses. You see blood.
I stop and it must have been one of them. Or how many? I'm trying to see for signs. Can I figure out if there were one or more Nicotras?
You see at least 4 human bodies that's been slain and desolated by some kind of beast, and you're pretty sure that it is a Nicatra, or maybe more than one Nicatra. They hunt in packs, as you remember.
Why would someone keep something like this on a ship? Maybe it's some sort of... If they try to take us as slaves, I started to mumble to myself.
I kind of have to hold back a bit of a gut reaction to vomit here. But I try and steal it. I was trained to accept things like this. A little, anyway. And I kind of move forward, and I'm trying to see the bodies. Is there anything that could be of use? Is it just flesh and cloth? Or do they have some tools, weapons maybe? The stink is unbearable.
When you're looking through the bodies, you see a communicator, a level 1 communicator that's still attached to a left arm, but the left arm isn't attached to any body. If you're going to search through the area, I want you to roll a strength roll, or if you have survival, you can use that as a boost.
I will not have that, so I'll very briefly sift through the area. And I pretty much get to the first major body, try and lift it a little, and then just slump it down. I got no 6s.
Yeah, you're feeling sick. You're feeling sick and you feel warm. Your head is aching even more.
I see him going up to it and looking over there. I see the arm with the communicator. I try to calm myself. This wouldn't be a problem seeing dead bodies. I've seen dead bodies before. I've been handling them before. It's just knowing that now we're like sitting ducks. We're easy prey for whatever is in here. It makes me uncomfortable. I try to help him and look for anything else that could help us.
I'm not stepping anywhere close to that mess, and I'm instinctively trying to find my perfumed little handkerchief that I always keep, tucked in my clothes, but of course I can't find it, so I just try my best to cover up my mouth and my nose with my hand instead.
Yeah. You feel the stench, and not only the stench of blood and guts, you feel the stench of urine of the Nicatra.
I try to... I look at the carnage and then I stand up from it and I look around. Is there any indication of which way they might have headed after this?
Yeah, you can roll a survival.
1. 6.
It looks like they have been heading to the corridor at your right. And it looks like it's going upwards in the ship. There are 3 more corridors, and 2 of them is going upwards as well, but 1 is going upwards at the opposite side of the one that the Nakatra has went through.
We're wasting time. Let's just move on.
Yeah, anywhere but that way, I say, and point.
I nod and we'll start heading the way he doesn't point. You coming, Captain?
Yes, of course. One would pray that at least they're not hungry now and on the hunt for fresh meat. I follow quickly.
Yes, and you're starting to move upwards, and you realize that the surroundings is changing a bit. You are passing through a wide open mechanical door, and it looks like you have left the more Stasis Pod space, and you are getting into bigger, larger corridors that you can maybe drive through with some sort of exo or a small vehicle of sort. You know that this should take you quite close to the garage of the exosuits and the grav bikes and the other equipment for maybe establishing colonies or exploration, that kind of labor.
I kind of pause again and look to Farouk and remark, well, keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah? You keep going. You get to a T-crossing, and the light is still very reddish, but you can see that a white, quite bright light is starting to lit every 10 meter in the corridor. And Carlo, what you get out of this is that maybe the rebooting sequence is going to be ready in a couple of minutes, or maybe a half an hour. You're not sure.
Well, maybe when that happens, there'll be some order on this ship. What a piece of junk, I think to myself. I call out, Captain, looks like power might be rebooting shortly. Might be a good thing.
That's good, yeah?
I'd hope so. At least we might not have to worry about the ship exploding. Maybe the shielding will kick in or something. Pressure will come back on, I don't know.
And the better lights, maybe.
Yeah, definitely better lights. Yeah, but all the systems, I don't get it. Why are there so many corridors? Why aren't there any rooms?
If I had to guess, I'd say isn't this one of those ships that carries mass cargo or something? It's the sort of design that comes to my mind. What do you think, Captain?
I think if there's anyone that knows ships, it's probably you guys. I basically just travel with them.
Well, if this is a sort of slave ship like you thought, maybe they carry exotic stuff as well, and that's why they got these animals. It could be some sort of flying circus, but also selling slaves. It's some sort of raider ship, but it's big. Corsairs.
Exotic pets and slaves or something. This is unnerving. We need to press on, I believe. The less time we spend standing still is probably better.
Yeah, this big corridor should take us to the, maybe some sort of hangar or something. Maybe we can get to a shuttle.
I nod and once again skulk forward.
Yeah. You're starting to pass through this big corridor, and after a couple of minutes, you enter a big hangar. But it's not a hangar for ships, it's a hangar for stripped land vehicles. Looks like APC carriers and some rescue mission equipment, as well as a lot of big crates.
I run over to one of the crates and start looking in and see if there's anything in there, see if we can find a weapon of some sort.
Yeah, you take some time and you can roll an observation.
I get nothing, but I'm...
Yeah, you look through, and when you're looking through, you see that a lot of these vehicles are stripped. When you arrive at the colony or whatever you are getting to, they should be assembled. But you also find that there's a lot of mixed materials, so it's not a corporate mission that has all these made materials for one colony. You can find some tools that are really old, some mechanical parts that are quite new. It seems like this mission was put together in a haste.
Huh.
It's quite odd.
It looks like someone is getting ready to colonize something, but I don't know, this doesn't make any sense. All this... I mean, nothing's uniform, nothing's... Clearly it's not a company that did this, or... Someone has just thrown stuff together and tried to... I throw some things around me like this is useless.
I move over to a crate and start rummaging around in it myself.
Yeah?
And I would like, if it's alright, to use for this session the talent of the faceless. I'm hoping, as often in my life, that maybe I'll get lucky and just find something that just helps. I'm not sure what it will be, but anything would do.
Yeah?
Yes, so I'd like to use that. You tell me what I find.
Yeah? You go through a crate and you find a plasma cutter. And you feel that could come quite in handy if you're going to cut through a door or maybe seal a door. And
or even, worst case, of a little bit of defense.
yes, of course. It got 5 cells, so 5 uses, more or less.
Hey.
So if you're going to seal a door with one cell, if you're going to open a door, it goes 1 cell.
I look up and I see Carlo holding that, and I walk over towards him, pointing with my arms. That's good. Yeah, we can use that.
Yeah, this isn't bad. What do you say? Maybe you should have this.
Yeah, I'll take that. And I take it and I put it in my belt.
No other things to use as like a club or anything, just to keep something in the hands to feel a bit more secure.
Yeah, if you're looking through and looking for weapons, you can find some wrenches, you can find steel pipes, you can also find some mostly primitive weapon like clubs, maybe a Dura drill, but it's not so handy for elegant combat. But still, if you put it in someone's stomach, it will hurt.
I'll try the weight of a steel pipe to see if it's like nice in my hand, and swing it a few times just to get a feel for it. Ah.
Yeah. Do anyone have technology?
Yeah.
Yeah? You don't have to roll. You can say that a lot of this equipment is made for building a mining colony of sort.
I look at the Dura drill that she found, and yeah, I nod towards it, and I say, prospectors, I'd say, maybe a mining colony.
I huff and say, fascinating. Now, I suppose there's nothing else here. I guess we'll have to continue.
I shrug, and I follow Farouk's example of picking up something as, last defense. I'll take a wrench.
You have put some equipment on you. You have armed yourself with steel pipes and Dura drills and plasma cutters, and you're starting to leave the hangar and at the opposite side that you entered it. Farouk, you're feeling really, really dizzy. You're sweating, and you're feeling that you're about to throw up.
Once again, I tried to find my handkerchief, but realized that still not there, and I'm sad. Isn't it hot in here, boys? Don't feel so well.
I squint towards him and I say, yeah, you look bad. And I walk over to examine him.
Yeah, you can see that he has some red mark on his forehead, and as well as some blemish. Looks like a cut maybe on his hand, but you can't remember when the captain cut himself. If he cut himself.
Did you hurt yourself just now?
What? No, I just feel like if I've had something to eat, it would probably find its way up again by now.
No. Yeah. It's we need to get you to a med lab.
What?
You're probably suffering from radiation damage. That's the only thing that makes sense. It's pretty bad. Can you move?
Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah. Let's start. Is there any way out of here?
Yeah, you see a quite large mechanical door that leaves this area. You also see that at one end of the ship hull, it could be a docking bay and an airlock. So you can probably go through there if you want to as well. And you go out on the ship with exosuits.
Do we have suits here in the hangar?
Should be some suits in the airlock.
Yeah.
It should be.
Okay. What do you say? We can go on the outside or try to keep making way on the inside?
Well, I don't know, Pick. You tell me. Outside, I suppose there wouldn't be any friends, but there'd be space. In here, safer, but we have friends.
How's radiation outside? Is that safer? I've never really been outside.
And that depends on what we're near. If we're I don't know, if we're near some sort of star or anything, there could be severe radiation outside as well. Maybe we should stick to the inside for now then.
Yes, that might be wise. I've had some training, when I was learning pilot stuff. But it might be wiser to keep going inside. For now, I don't see a reason to leave the ship just yet. At least not that way.
But maybe we should find exosuits in case another hull breach.
Yeah, I would feel safer in an exosuit. It'd be a bit clumsy, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still, if something like that happens again, I gesture over my shoulder towards where we came from, I would feel a bit safer.
Noted. And I begin moving towards the airlock, saying, I'm pretty sure there should be some exosuits in the airlock. There normally are.
Yeah.
I try to walk, but I get a bit shaky in my legs, so I kind of stretch out and place a hand on who's ever closest to steady myself. I'm gonna be okay? Yeah?
Yeah, just try to hang on.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
You're moving towards the airlock, and it's next to a big hangar door. It's a docking bay of sort. It could take a smaller class vessel, maybe a 4 or a 3 type ship could dock to this bay to unload and unload the equipment. At the left side of the hangar door there's an airlock, and it seems untouched. Do you open it?
Yes.
You look in, and the big steel door is opening. You see 5 suits, exosuits. They seem quite old, maybe at least 15 or 20 years old. And you see the other door, the other side of the airlock. No windows, of course.
Then I move in, and I immediately make my way towards one of them, eagerly getting into it.
Yeah.
And I attach the torch to the outside of it.
Yeah. There's no problem to do that. You also see some spare parts here, mechanical spare parts in the airlock.
Oh, that's good. Can I pick up some of those?
Yeah. There are two ordinary spare parts.
Are those small? Or they're normal?
They're quite heavy, and they're made for fixing hull breaches or hull panels. So they are quite useful when they're used together with the plasma cutter.
Yeah. Okay.
You also find 5 emergency flares.
Do the suits, do they all seem to function properly?
Do you take time to go through them?
Yeah, because Farouk has never been on the outside of a ship.
Okay.
So he is quite nervous right now and wants to make sure that everything's working properly.
Have you used an exosuit before?
Probably not, no. Well, there was that one time, but it was kind of in another situation altogether.
Yeah, you can roll a wits roll, sorry.
Wits, yeah. I'll roll wits to see if I can figure this one out.
You can have a -1.
No, I have no clue what I'm looking at.
It looks fine.
Yeah.
You really like this suit.
Yeah. I start to, put it on.
Yeah?
I will go and put mine on quickly. I am no expert, but of course I would have been given a basic training in exosuits. I'm expected to be in space sometimes, so I would think I know what I'm doing. Does everything seem okay with me?
Yeah. It's an old suit, but you don't think it's been used. It's just been in some storage unit for a long time. It's got some bad design choices, so when you're doing maneuvers in space, you will get some penalty, but that's about it.
Very well. Captain, you all right over there?
I do believe I am, but is this supposed to go here?
No.
Oh. Okay. Sorry. Where do I put it then?
I shake my head and kind of go over to assist.
I struggle a little bit in getting into the exosuit, as it's not really accommodating for my 4 arms. But I have a small frame, so I try to squeeze in 2 of my arms along the side.
Some situation, I imagine you been using a corset.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can, you know how to put your extra pair of arms, maybe yank them in some quite painful angle, but you get them into the suit. You feel that you're not so agile as you were a couple of seconds ago, but you can use it.
Yeah. But somehow I still feel a bit safer.
Yeah, it's preferable if you compare with a Nekatra bite or Nekatra cut to have a spacesuit between them and you.
I look over to Pig briefly to make sure they are fine. I nod because I thought they would know what they were doing. I go, "Good work, Pig. All right. Captain, shall we continue? At least now we have some defense."
Yeah. It's not much, but I do feel a little safer. Towards some kind of command bridge, or...
I think that would be ideal, yes.
You leave the airlock and go for the another pathway that's going upwards in the ship. And you open the main double door, and you open it with a mechanical lock. And then you realize that the reboot sequence must be quite ready, because you haven't been able to use mechanical locks before. You have pushed doors opened. So a terminal by now should be functioning. There's a corridor, and you see doors at the side of the walls, and maybe 20-25 meters you see a T-crossing and a terminal that flickers.
Wonderful, I say aloud, as I quickly move over to this new terminal and see if I can access it.
Yeah, it doesn't look damaged, and you can see that this one has been upgraded. It's not the newest technology, but it's maybe a couple of years old. It doesn't have a dashboard, and it's voice command.
Well, that won't be too much trouble, and I look for a way to connect my security tablet.
Okay. Do you have data gen? Yes?
Yes.
You can roll a normal roll.
Move up to the side, looking down the corridors.
6.
Yeah, you access the terminal, and it's starting to. The reboot sequence is ready, and before you, it materializes a hologram of an old man with a stylish turban and a long kaftan. The hologram is bluish and transparent, and it bows to you and say, "Hello, Salah. My name is Suleiman. What can I help you with?"
I pause for a moment. I look to the captain, and then I remark, "How do you know my name?"
I don't. Did I tell you your name?
My name is Carlo Salah.
Ah, yes, I know your name. You're in the ship manifest, aren't you?
Yes.
You realize that something is wrong. You realize that the mainframe must be damaged. You realize that the AI is at two places at the same time. Maybe rebooting in a sequence, maybe here. So you have to go gentle on this one, alright?
Captain, I think the onboard AI is probably not with us. I'm assuming this is the AI. Yes, it has to be. Captain, maybe you should ask some questions.
I step forward. Does the AI acknowledge me in any way, or does it just, stare into the distance?
It acknowledges all of you.
Suleiman?
Ah, Aliyabur. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to see you.
Yes. Thank you.
Could you give us a rundown on the situation, please?
You don't have access to that information, Aliyabur. I'm sorry.
Well, the situation is not quite as it's supposed to be, and I think normal safety protocols are not applicable at the moment, as it seems we are the only ones alive on the ship at the moment. Is there any way you could surpass this access?
That access is denied for you, Aliyabur. My mission is now to direct you to the escape pods.
And where would they be?
I can lit up a path for you. And you see that holographic strains are pouring through the floor and are making its way through the corridor and takes a left. This is the way to the escape pods. The alarm started 2 hours ago.
I eagerly nudged the others a bit in the side to, start following it.
Is there any medical supply or bay or something nearby from here?
Ghazali has a med bay. Are you hurt?
We're suffering from radiation poisoning.
Then it's imminent that you move to the med bay.
At this point, I very subtly just start pressing a few buttons on the tablet. I'm curious if we can get past this whole lack of clearance business.
Yes, then you have to do a data gen. You see a couple of firewalls. You see a high-class firewall that has been installed a couple of weeks ago, maybe just a week ago. It's high security class. And then there's a normal firewall that has been installed 10 cycles ago.
Possibly better to start simple. I'll go for the first firewall, the more simple one.
Yes.
Just roll a straight data gen test?
Yeah. With the security tablet. It's the normal roll.
And as I'm sort of dabbling away, I kind of see a bit of resistance. And I kind of just sort of, again, take a moment to think to the faceless one. Has always looked out for me, I think. And I will re-roll.
Yes.
And I get 1-6.
You break through the first firewall. And what do you want to ask?
As soon as I do this, I go, remind us again, why are we on this ship?
You are on a rescue mission to the Hamura system. You all enrolled at the Coriolis station and went with the cruiser Ghazali that was taken by the consortium to make a rescue operation at the Hamura system. Your ship is docked on the far side of the Ghazali.
And at this point I assume that this ship is...
Yes, this is the Ghazali.
Our ship?
Well, Captain...
It said our ship.
Yeah.
Our ship is docked to the Ghazali.
Yes.
Then that's where we're heading.
Yes. What do you say, Captain? Do you remember signing us up for a rescue mission?
I strain, really strain to see if I can remember anything about this.
You have a small memory of signing some papers with the consortium of some kind of rescue mission of a mining colony in the Hamura system, or was it some other system? You don't really recall.
It is plausible. I do remember signing up for something, and it was a rescue mission, but not entirely sure where to.
I hope we were getting paid well. Rescue mission. I click my teeth and I put the security tablet away and look to the others.
Do we have a bearing on our ship? Do we know where it is?
Hopefully near the escape pods. Actually, I turn to the AI. Is this way the way to our ship, or the escape pods, or are they in the same area?
Your ship is not close to the escape pods. Your ship is on the far side of the Ghazali.
Well, then direct us there.
You cannot move through your ship through the Ghazali. The Ghazali has been badly damaged.
Well, what is the situation outside the ship?
We are drifting. We are drifting closer and closer to the star.
The escape pods, are they maneuverable? Can we get one and then take that flying towards our ship?
My data tells me that some of the escape pods are maneuverable to your ship. Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. And
let's follow the signs. Get to our ship. You can start flying while I attend to the med bay.
Sure thing. And I move along with the others.
We probably all need to go through med bay sooner or later. My head is killing me. Yeah.
You are the first one to reboot the system. You are the first one that are talking to me. Shall I light up all the directions to the med bay and as well to the escape pods?
I try to examine her. Does she need immediate sort of counter-radiative measures, or can we get to our ship first and then I'll attend to her in our own med bay?
You don't really know how big the ship is.
Yeah.
So you don't really know how long it will take to go to the escape pods. So as soon as possible.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. Well, maybe we ought to get you to the med bay first. Just get something.
We don't even know how long that will take us. Isn't it better to go for the ship?
It's your call, Captain.
I look at Carlo.
Haven't we got something on the ship for this sort of thing? At least some medication or something? Pig?
What, on our own ship?
Yeah, isn't that the sort of thing you carry around? Radiation, back to space.
Well, of course. Our medbay is equipped for it.
Well, there you go then. Maybe it's better well, let's just go with the situation as we go. One more thing. And I turn to the AI.
Yes.
Can you detect any life forms on board that aren't, well, supposed to be here, or human?
My census indicates that 47 life forms are on the ship. I cannot indicate if they are humans or if they are something else.
Are they alive?
Yes, they are alive.
47.
Could you perhaps make it slightly harder for them to get to our position in the escape area, at least until we're gone?
You don't have clearance for that. I'm sorry. Sorry.
You don't have clearance for that, you're sorry.
I can tell you that from start there were around 300 life forms leaving the Coriolis station with the Ghazali.
Well, this has been a good rescue mission.
A rescue mission.
I wonder what happened. What went wrong? Do you know that, computer?
I can tell you that something hit the Ghazali when we were passing through the portal of the Hamburg system.
Something hit. Like an asteroid?
You don't have clearance for that information.
This is useless. Come on, let's move to the escape pods.
Yeah, quickly.
I almost have to fight back the urge to hack this guy a little more, because I really don't like hearing those words, but they're right. I nod and I go, all right, Captain, let's go. Fine, off we go.
Just to make something clear, did you lit up the way to the med lab as well?
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so then you have the way to the escape pod and as well to the med lab. Okay. And where are you heading? You see that the bright yellow is for the med lab. And it go in different directions.
Well, I admit, med labs are important, but I think it might be wise to at least be in a position to get the ship ready, Captain.
Yes, escape pods, for sure. Should we do something about the other 47 aboard?
Keep in mind, Captain, that I'm pretty sure of those 47, willing to bet 5, maybe even 10, are not going to be very friendly and be on 4 legs and try and eat us.
And with very sharp claws, indeed, yes. No, let's go.
Do someone has culture?
Yes, I do.
You can roll if you want to have some information about the Hamura system, for example.
Yes. 2 6s.
Great. You know that the Hamura system is a real backwater system. There's not a lot of mining colonies in here. And you know it's more of a passing through system. So the final destination for Ghazali was probably not Hamura.
What puzzles me, crew, is that who in the Third Horizons would ever set up a mining colony in Hamura? There is basically nothing of value here.
Maybe if someone finds something new.
Not to mention, what's the consortium doing hiring the people like us for a rescue mission? The Legion busy?
Yeah, I'm not sure what part we were supposed to play in all this.
I'm not even sure if Hamura was our destination.
Oh.
It might just have been something gone wrong on the way to somewhere else.
Or you think we were just passing by through...
It's not impossible. As I said, there's not much here in Hamura's system, if that's really where we are. I mean, everything else is screwy on this ship, so...
Clonk, clonk.
Ah!
You hear something up in the corner. Over here! I can hear something! I can see something!
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Mercy of the Icons for Coriolis, which is published by Free League. Gamemaster was Palmquist, and we were also joined by Jenny Bremberg. The music was created by AlphaZone and Sabled Sun, and was used with permission from their label, Cryochamber. Please check out cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more of their lovely dark ambient. We also used the official Coriolis soundtrack by Stars on a Black Sea. The sound effects come from the Syrinscape sci-fi player, and was used with permission from Syrinscape. With its ease of use, you might want to try it for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Cameron, Antxon, Graham Barey, and Doug Thomson for their generous support. We would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult Divinity Lost, Call of Cthulhu, and Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay there, as well as binge the rest of Last Voyage of the Ghazali and Emissary Lost. You can also get early and raw access to all of our recordings and hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember that the song leads us to the truth under a great winged shadow.